Hello, and we're live. My gosh, it's been, I've had mic issues and my throat is going crazy right now. I feel like they don't want this message to get out. Like, or there's a lot of issues with Hayden Panettiere speaking her truth. I think that is most probably why, allegedly, that she was unalived, because I mean, I feel it in my body already so strongly that she was trying to speak her truth and had some really incriminating evidence, and was historically, I keep getting the word historically, like check my history is like what I kept hearing today. History. And then I heard threatened into submission. So as a medium, I want to give, I am an ethical medium, and I am tapping into my guides' energy and the overall collective energy of what happened to her. I want to give her the respect and her soul the transition time. So, you know, whatever kind of like telepathic messages I hear, I'll share. Today when I was like taking a shower, getting ready for this live, that's what I heard. I heard threatened into submission, and then I heard check my history. So there's something about history, and there's a track record of being threatened into submission. And then also there was a feeling that I got of, again, throat chakra is going crazy, y'all. Like, oh, she was like getting ready to launch something. I just feel it's so like it was on the tip of her tongue. It was like she was right there. I also feel that she was like a star seed, a Lyran star seed. So definitely had a lot of Lyran off-worlder guides in her auric field. I also looked up in the Germatinator. Let's see if I can present this, if we're going to have any issues. So I looked up, her birthday is August 21st, 1981, which would put her right at the cusp of a Leo. I'm at, yeah. Now, the day that she passed away was August 16th, 2026. And guess what the reverse reduction equates to? 63, which is the age in which she passed away, which is reversed 36. So this is what they do. If you know, you know. This is how, in my opinion, you can track the celebrity unalivings. And you can track who did it, the cause of it, and why. Because they have to kind of show their tracks. It's like they have to give it to you in plain sight to erase their karma, especially the Freemasons, I'll say. I also was picking up energetically and psychically that there were some ties to President Bump, we'll call him. There was some information maybe that was also going to be leaked or tied or, connected to him. So there's that. Then I looked up her last movie, and it was Sleepwalker, which I found fascinating because Sleepwalker. Let's see if I can show this. Her birthday, August 21st, 1989, in the Gematria also equates to the god of sleep and celebrity death. I think there's also Freemasons in here as well. Let's see. No, Bill of Rights, actually. Bill of Rights. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. I'm having some issues with my computer, as always. Sorry, guys. Okay. So let's see. Sleepwalker. Wait, let me go back. Sorry. Hold on. Let me find the right tab. Okay, here we go. All right. So right here, her birthday, I mean, the day that she passed away, it is the reverse reduction 63 of her birthday. So her birthday, I'm sorry, the day, I'm getting this so backwards, confused. Okay. So she was unalived right before her 37th birthday. So it's all about the dates and it's all about the numbers and age. This is how, and you're going to always find that the day that they pass away is going to equate or somehow be the reverse reduction of something significant in their numerology. So she was 36 at the time of her passing, and you see the day of her passing, it is the reverse reduction is 63. Do you see what I mean? Now, okay, bear with me. I got a lot going on in my head. All right, so yeah, so her her birthday equates to, this would be August 21st, 1989, equates to celebrity death. The ones that stuck out to me. I'm just telling you the ones that stuck out to me. Shmooshide weekend and the God of Sleep. The God of Sleep really stuck out at me because her last movie was Sleepwalker. Also, the day that she passed away equates to the date in the Gematria also equates to Freemasons. That's where I was picking up Freemasons. So I definitely feel, just by the way that my throat chakra was going crazy, I feel that this was not an OD. Allegedly. Hey guys. Hi Tamra. Hey Wendy. Yes. WTF. Have a shot of vodka. No, Martha. Not a good spirit to be channeling. I'm good. Have one for me though. Quickly guides do the liquor. What? No. All right. I had a strong reaction to the news, which is not normal for me. I don't pay attention to pop culture. This one's going to be, gosh, my throat's going crazy. This one's going to be, yeah, there's a lot of loosh, I feel, with this one that they're trying to harvest. If you find yourself like feeling exceptionally emotionally, pulled or dragged into it and wanting to cry, go outside, ground, take your shoes off, touch grass, touch a tree. Yeah, it's It's a big one. It's a big one, and I think it's because we're starting to see the patterns. We're starting to pattern recognize. Um, these celebrity unalivings are all ritualistic, and I do feel that this was possibly extremely volatile in how she passed. I mean, my throat is just going crazy. I feel like I'm choking, drowning, something, something going on here, especially wanting to scream, wanting to get some news out, wanting to get truth out. There's a lot of things there's a lot of things going on in the throat chakra area. I also feel like there was some reporting, I believe, that she was going back to her ex that was extremely abusive emotionally, physically, and mentally, allegedly. I feel like if this was kind of like a cover that she was doing in order to speak the truth or to like fly under the radar. But then again, I heard threatened into submission. So almost like she was trying to appease or like not rock the boat. Um yeah, I'm getting some references to water as well. Um like not wanting to make him angry. So definitely gave me some handler vibes. He guided something, guided her to something. She wanted maybe she was acting like she was going back to him to get something, to get access to something quickly for this truth that she was going to be revealing. I'm also getting something about fingerprints. Fingerprints will be very telling. Yeah, I definitely don't think this was an overdose. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna call it right now. I don't think this was an overdose. I had a visceral reaction to it, and then like on top of that, my throat is going crazy right now. Crazy. Put your QQQs in the chat if you have any questions about Hayden Panettiere that you want to ask the cards and my guides about the situation at hand. We're gonna do just Hayden questions for right now. Yes, happy Monday. Like, subscribe, and share, please. It helps me out in the algorithm. Hi, Jean. Thanks for that information. Yeah. Yeah, I just said that. Her birthday was on the 21st, August 21st, 1989. So she wasn't quite she didn't quite make it to 37. That, in my particular opinion, was intentional. And these are how these they sync up the birth dates and the numbers. And if you look up as well in Gematria, some of the headlines are very telling as well in like the Mockingbird News. So let's see. Let me look up. So this will be a good one. People.com. We know they're definitely owned by BlackRock. Okay, now my internet's not working. It's always something. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I typed in, so the People magazine article title is Hayden Panettiere suffered apparent overdose, was responsive as advanced life support was administered before death. And I typed that into the Gematinator and it says Draco Archon brain parasite reloaded. But I recommend taking the vaccines. So it's just wild. Everything is coded in the Mockingbird News and all these articles. I think this is definitely the culprit is the Freemasons here. Yeah. Wild. Tree of knowledge and the tree of life as well is what that equates to. So interesting stuff. Tamara says Hayden's brother passed away a couple of years ago. Was his death related to what happened to her? Yeah, I think he was a sacrifice for greed. It says mask, lies, and yeah, I'm picking up who is responsible for this, calling this. Okay, so it looks like it's something's connected to her father. I don't think her father's a great character in this situation. That's what I'm picking up. What does her father? Yeah, he's been calling some shots for quite some time. Did he speak out on her about her OD or something? I'm feeling like that's lies. All right, take 1 second and let's read through this together. I haven't even read an article yet. I just put in the let's see what they're saying here. In South Carolina, pronounced dead despite advanced life support efforts. Authorities are investigating her death, but have found no signs of foul play or suspicious circumstances so far. I bet. New details have been revealed about the last moments of Hayden Panettiere's life. Police officers and EMS personnel responded to reports of an unresponsive female, later identified as 36-year-old Panettiere. You see how it's always about the numbers for them. They're obsessed with listing out numbers. At around 1:51 p.m. local time on Sunday, August 16th, the Greenville Police Department previously confirmed to People. According to dispatch, audio obtained by People, officials were heard discussing an overdose and cardiac arrest around the time of Panettiere's death. The Greenville Police Department and Greenville County's coroner's office are leading the investigation into her death. The preliminary investigation has not indicated any signs of foul play or suspicious circumstances, a spokesperson for the Greenville Police Department said in a statement obtained by People. An acquaintance of Mrs. Panettiere placed the 911 call. On August 17th, the Greenville County Coroner's Office shared an update as to what happened when authorities answered the 911 call at approximately 1:51 p.m. on August 16th. First responders and emergency medical services arrived on scene and located a female in cardiac arrest. EMS personnel initiated advanced cardiac life support measures. However, resuscitation efforts were unsuccessful, and the individual was pronounced deceased at 2:32 p.m. The individual was identified as Panettiere, who was found unresponsive inside the residence where she has been temporarily staying. The statement also said that an autopsy was completed on Monday. An autopsy, no signs of trauma were discovered that would have contributed to the death. Read the statement by Coroner Mike Ellis. The cause and manner of death remain pending further investigation and completion of additional studies. The investigation remains active and ongoing. No further details are available for release at this time. On August 17th, the source tells People that Narcan was found at the scene. Narcan is a treatment designed to rapidly reverse the effects of life-threatening opioid emergency. All right. After starring in the ABC soap opera One Life to Live in 1994, Panettiere had high-profile roles in Heroes, Nashville, and the Scream franchise. She leaves behind an 11-year-old daughter, Kaya, shared with former fiancé Vladimir Klitschko. And if you or someone you know struggling with mental health challenges, emotional distress, substance use problems, or just need to talk, call or text 988 or chat 988lifeline.org 24/7. Alrighty. A lot to unpack there. Yeah. I just think it's with the launch of her book and the This Is Me, and coming out with a lot of accusations and truth. I think yeah, I think there's foul play here. I'm allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I definitely feel like is it Jay Shetty? For some reason, that podcast with Jay, I think his name is Shetty. Apparently the woke, enlightened podcaster. Definitely, I think he's part of the club. I also kept getting a reference to Tony Robbins. Like in Tony Robbins' aura, I think he's someone who's sold his soul as well. You can always tell by the celebrities that endorse the other celebrities of the pyramid scheme that are part of the club and have sold their soul, in my opinion. And I just keep getting drawn to Jay Shetty for some reason. Very, very significant there. Hi, Steve. Hi, Mystic. For some reason, Brittany Murphy keeps coming to mind. Listen, I was obsessed whenever she first passed away. I think that was like right around the first time I was really like honing in on my medium abilities. And yeah, like it was around the same time I was obsessed with pirating, like downloading torrents for like what really happened to the Beatles. And like all the conspiracy theories with that. Like that's how old it was. I had to like pirate and download the torrents to that. But absolutely, I think her husband was responsible for Brittany Murphy's unaliving. I mean, there's just so much foul play. I definitely think that I'm picking up that her most recent significant other has something to do with it. Definitely a handler. And I think that she was trying to play it safe. She was trying to go and pick something up or getting access to a book or something is what I'm picking up. But I'm also getting a reference to water. There's something to water. Maybe she felt like she was drowning. I don't know, but there's definitely my throat's going crazy. I feel like I'm choking. I feel like I'm drowning a little bit. Now that definitely can happen, or that can be a feeling, you know, with an OD. But I don't think it was a self-induced OD. I think that it was forced upon her, if that was what was in her system. Um, Also, when I was reading that article, let me turn this on silent. Also, when I was reading that article, something about the coroner, Mike Ellis. I bet you anything. He's one of these coroners that's always kind of like the spokesperson for these celebrity deaths. I don't know. I just had a feeling. We'll see. Hold on, hold on. It's all Hayden coming up right now of other celebrity. Okay, so Greenville County Coroner Mike Ellis handles local death investigations in South Carolina. There's something okay, so he's not connected to anybody else significant with celebrities online, but I am looking up on Google, so that is also, like, heavily censored. Um, but there's something connected, obviously, to the coroner, Mike Ellis, that I feel is corrupt, 100%. And I feel he's connected with some or, like, answering to another celebrity of some sort. There's some other celebrity energy that I'm picking up on here. So there's that. But yeah, yeah. Um, I'm right there with you, Mystic. Like, just something doesn't sit right with me. It's a visceral reaction. Like, I think that she had some Lyran energy, some lioness energy, like about to speak some truth, like drop some truth bombs. And I think it also was connected to the president, if I'm honest, because I also saw in the Jamachinator, there was a lot of like Bill of Rights and there was one other one. What was it? Trump Pence. Yeah. That was equated to August 16th, 2026. In the Jamachinator and Freemasons. So I think definitely they were calling something up from the top because they didn't want things to be connected and leaked. And I think that the Lyran, she was a Lyran starseed, and she had some Lyran guides with her. Also, I keep getting in the Gematria and Gematria that it keeps saying war with China. We are at war, things like that. Then, interestingly enough, I kept getting some connection to some psychic hits and some psychic downloads to Isaac Cappy. And he was in fact the one that was like, "Oh, this is go do your thing in gematria. This is like you can totally track this and unpack it." And this is where I feel like AI can, like, lead people down a like, wrong path or, like, down a dark path of, like, fear-based, like, bringing them down their own to the path of their own demise. Does that make sense? Out of fear. And, like, Isaac Cappy was extremely paranoid and extremely, like, had to always look over his shoulder and, you know, connect the dots, which, listen, I've lived it. It's 100%, true. Like, you have to kind of, like, keep your head on the swivel, but at the same time, you are the person creating the video game. And so you have to kind of, like, pause and, like, remind yourself, like, you don't allow yourself to be baited into that fear mindset. Um, so for some reason, I'm picking up strongly Isaac Cappy's energy, like, explaining this horrible end to Hayden. Well, I feel that she is transitioning and being guided. I see there's tons and tons of yellow light as well, which is interesting 'cause y'all know I don't know how to change this light. I just let it, like, pop up whatever color it wants to, and, it was yellow today. So, I found that fascinating. She's got a lot of, like, solar plexus, yellow willpower energy. Um, and I also heard my guides just say, like, she's climbing a mountain right now, like, of, like, redemption and vindication, like, um, restoring herself, um, reunited with herself is what I just heard, so that's good, and I wanna honor her energy. I also feel like we also need to I don't, want in any way, shape, or form to try and judge the situation that she was in. I think it's, like, when you're that, um, brought up in Hollywood from an early age and kind of, like, forced not really knowing what like, you're taking the adults' advice and you're thinking that this is the way of life. This is what what how it's supposed to be and the right thing to do and stuff like that. I think that we can't possibly judge what it's like being in a handled situation, but it definitely feels when I tap into the energy surrounding right before her passing, it was extremely restrictive, extremely limiting, extremely surveillanced, and, yeah, like, it's like the 9 of swords, like, card, like, so limited, so restricted, having absolute feeling powerless over your life in many regards everywhere you're, like, going to try and exit and find a new route, so there's that energy. I'm also getting a reference to pulling hair. So this could be just like actually like it felt like she was pulling her own hair or there was actual like history of this guy pulling her hair and like physically abusing her. I don't know. Could be either or. I'm a very visual clairvoyant translator. um Hi Diana. Hi Jess. I caught you live today. Yay. Thanks for being here. Hot shots. Mystic musings. Yeah, her ex-boyfriend seems shady. I mean, he just seems extremely misogynistic and just horrible. Like just his the way his cadence and the way he talks. Mm, yeah. Hit the like button. Yes, thanks. Yes, rest in peace, Isaac Cappy. Give it no energy and it will cease to be. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, just send love and light and, sending good energy to help her cross over is, ideal and the compassionate thing to do, I would say. And also, like, creating a space where, you know, just like for Isaac Cappy, and a space where we can hear people's testimonies and stories is so important before giving them the space to do it unpredictably so that this doesn't happen again. That's what I'm feeling from Isaac Cappy. This is a constant like protocol. This is a constant playbook that they follow. And especially I'm getting images of full moon and new moon. So yeah, it's ritualistic. It comes in cycles and it's never ending. So I'm also getting a reference to the boule snakes as well. I'm singing all of a sudden. It sounded like a theme song. I don't know what theme song that was. It felt like a theme song. So put your QQQs if you have any questions for the cards. Why didn't she have a relationship with her mom? Let's see. It was emotionally unhealthy for her to have a relationship with her mom. It forced her to neglect her well-being is what I'm picking up. And her spirit guides, and I think she was there's a lot of earthly angel energy in her aura as well, and guides. There's a lot of angelic guidance. So I think that she was guided away from her mother. Her mother applied too much pressure in her career is what I'm picking up. Also, I'm picking up the age, the 12 years of age was one of the most traumatic years of her life. And that's why a lot of her trauma comes from that year. 12 and 16, the age of 16 as well. And I don't know if you've noticed, I'm wearing a hat today for spiritual protection because I was picking up so much witchcraft energy and dark energy. So I put a hat on. So just an FYI, like if you're ever feeling a little bit sensitive in the crown chakra, always put a hat. It's a natural barrier and spiritual protection that you can just instantly draw a boundary with. Witchcraft. Yes, I believe so. Especially the X. Did anyone, let me ask y'all this, because obviously that was the first thing I read. I've seen maybe a couple of TMZ like videos, clips of him talking. I couldn't even watch past like 2 minutes. But I haven't read much of anything else, just what we did together just now. Was she found in his house, in their home together? Like, wasn't there something about her going back to him? It just says at a residence in Greenville. That's suspicious. At a residence in Greenville, South Carolina. They don't even say whose house it was. That's suspicious to me. Don't y'all think? That's super suspicious. Was Brittany Murphy about to speak out too? Let's see. No. She was really feeling unloved and just wanting like validation. I feel that. She was wanting validation. She was trying to get away from the people forcing drugs down her throat. That's what I do believe. That she was tired of feeling foggy. She was tired of being on a loop, being unhealthy, and just being on the grind and like churning out movies and stuff and projects for the gain of all the people around her. So I think she was trying to get away from handlers and just be like more independent and like choose projects that she wanted. I don't think she was about to speak out. I think she was just about to like go her own way. And they figured she would be more financially valuable unalived. That is so sad. I just channeled that. That's so sad. I feel like that's kind of the same energy with Michael Jackson and Prince, although I don't think Michael Jackson, his character was unalived. I think he's still alive. I think there's something with the Dave character. I think that was a fake unaliving. Um, I think Charlie Kirk is really, really unalived. I don't think that was a fake unaliving. I think Michael Jackson was a fake unaliving. And that was to make more off of his empire, his masters, and his music. I think Prince also, they unalived him because he was more valuable with his music in the vault. All the music in the vault, they wanted access to that as well. So I think he really was unalived, Prince. But there's something, I don't know if you guys pick up on this, but I definitely feel like Prince and Michael Jackson, their energy as a psychic to me and as a kid, I could not tell them apart. They have such a similar essence, soul signature that is similar to me. And I know what it is. And I like when I was in Greece, I lived in Greece at the time. And when I heard I had really bad access to Wi-Fi back then, it was in 2009. And the summer of 2009. And when they told me that, like, I remember coming up off on the beach from windsurfing, and someone was like, "Did you know that Michael Jackson just passed away?" And I was like, "No, he didn't." I was like, "No, I don't believe that." I just said that like just with like no rhyme or reason, which is funny. Now you got to sleep with a hat on. Yeah, sometimes I'll sleep with a scarf on. Don't, don't sleep next to a mirror, please. That's how witchcraft and the full moon and new moon rituals, if you are someone that they're harvesting from, they will do it through a mirror. A mirror. I sound so Louisianian. A mirror. So cover your mirrors or take them off the wall. Yeah. Or sleep with something covering your head or both. That would be like the safest route. Do both. Yeah. So is Jean saying they were off and on, and last time I heard they got back together. Yeah. I feel that this was kind of like she was leading him on. She was just doing it to fly under the radar because she had something bigger coming down the pipeline with truth speaking, like a truth bomb, and it didn't go well. They probably had her phone cloned, what I'm picking up, and hacked into. This was her handler, was her ex-boyfriend her handler. Yeah, briefly. I also think her previous handler was her ex-husband. Also, she knew about a third party situation of him cheating on her. That's how he kind of kept her under his thumb. Weird. Yeah. Okay. So I just heard literally smashination. Smashination. Fill in the blanks there. Yeah. So I don't think it was self-induced. I don't think it was and something about Mike Ellis, the findings, what he publicly said are not accurate. And um allegedly, this is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know. I'm getting like from my guys, they're saying that this Mike Ellis is connected to other artists, celebrity artists or something. Although Google says no. Oh, okay. So I'm getting clarification that there were financial issues connected to her book launch. That she was trying. So remember, I said she was going to get like a book or something. So she was trying to smooth over so it wouldn't become legal issues. So she was trying to like skate skate on thin ice, like gracefully, because to not rock the boat with him, her ex. There's something about the book and finances and like legalities there that she was worried about him threatening. So she kind of played, there was a cover. She played and went back to him a little, thinking, like, made him think that she was going to go back to him. And then this is where it was like tricky, murky waters. So maybe that's the reference to water that I'm getting. There could actually be something that they laced her water with. Also, that could be what my guys are trying to translate to me. Hi, Jennifer. Wendy says, I think her ex's brothers found them. I read that 2 ambulance responded. Rest in peace, Prince. I am still in the morning. I know. Maybe that's why I was singing. Maybe like Prince is here. I don't know. I think there's a lot of like celebrity. I'm picking up on this is like the standard celebrity death. Standard. Like it's like by the book. That's what I'm picking up. And I'm feeling like Isaac Cappy's energy. He's still a very nervous energy. Was Isaac Cappy Jewish? I feel like he is giving off a Jewish type of energy, just like very well attentive, like pays attention to the details kind of thing. Very, very detail oriented. I feel like Isaac Cappy is, and he's very passionate about connecting the dots in Hollywood. Yeah, okay. What I'm picking up in the energy is that she was actually in this new era of her life, new chapter of her life where she was really like taking back her power. And she had like this long game strategy is what I'm picking up. And there was some type of threat that forced her into submission, man. That's what I keep getting. Threat that forced her into submission. It was like I'm picking up an energy where like she thought she could have a handle on it and then realized, oh shit, they've cornered me. Kind of like it's kind of like the same energy I feel with like Charlie Kirk. This isn't just a Hayden Panettiere reading. This is wild. Because I'm also feeling Charlie Kirk, and like he's saying it was both a drone and an explosion. Both arguments are correct in how he passed away. And I could care less about going into all the details and logistics. I don't care. I don't care. That's for someone else to unpack. I don't care. I don't know how it would work. I know there's neodymium magnets of some sort. I think there was manipulation of the reality and energy and how people's optical nerves viewed something there. And I think everybody witnessing Charlie Kirk's unaliving hasn't been the same since, in my opinion. And that's also why they have a gag order. Can't talk about what they experienced because then it would connect a lot of the dots. I also feel Isaac Cappy's energy. It's like a party today, huh? Craziness. Something about the celebrity bloodlines and like they're all kind of connected in genetic trees, DNA wise. I'm picking up something's going on with Hayden's father. Something's not right. There's a judgment being called in spiritual court on Hayden's father is what I'm picking up. And I just heard breaking news. So is he the one that's breaking news here? And like not actual. I'm also seeing 2020 that investigative show 2020 in my mind's eye, or the logo for it. Hi, Sunflower. Thoughts on Eric? Who is Eric? Oh, Erica. So just as Erica was Charlie's handler and had a role in luring him in and trying to control his moves, when he started going rogue and not listening to the little hats and their agenda, I think she got paid and to trap him in this situation with UVU. I think she had a hand in it. So, and I think also Andrew Kolvat, he was so over inundated with his schedule. I think they did that intentionally. So that he couldn't say no, or like he was too exhausted to kind of like he was more in a people pleasing state. So I think just as that situation, I think there's some similarities with Hayden and the ex. I think they tried to paint it as it was her fault that she went back to an abusive relationship and all this stuff. And I think we need to give her more credit than that. Like, I think that she had done a lot of work on herself. I don't know. I just don't think that it felt like she was trying to be like kind of like Jennifer Lopez in Enough. Like she was trying to figure out how to outsmart him. And maybe she didn't realize that her phone was cloned or something, that they were heavily surveillancing her. I don't know. There's something about the book. There's something about legalities. There's something about payments. I don't feel that she was, I don't think she went freely by her own free will back to him. I think she was threatened into submission, is the exact wording I keep getting. Forced. So, and I keep choking. Yeah, I think she was forced. I think this was not her own doing. I'm also getting some reference to water. So there's that. 222. Oh, 22 in the chat. I love it. Hi, Shauna. How are you? Yeah, put your QQQs if y'all have any creative questions for the cards. Is there anything, guys, we need to know? I don't want to tap into Hayden's energy and channel her directly, just because that's just my ethical nature as a medium. I want to give her time to transition. I feel like a lot of other celebrities are here, like supporting the channel, which is fascinating. Yeah, I think this guy was heavily interwoven with, like, he was definitely getting a payout with her work, her movies, and this book for sure. That's what I'm picking up. It really is sad. Is her daughter safe? No, I do think that she's experiencing deception and fear. There's also some financial deceit connected to whatever she's inheriting. I do think that her daughter will be a very passionate person when she grows up, very artistic as well, and very active, very physically active. So lots of fire energy. Maybe she's very gifted athletically. Yeah, and it was a superficial relationship is what I'm picking up. Like, obviously, she had done the inner work. I feel she had done the inner work. I feel that there was a lot of she had set boundaries, healthy boundaries, like with her mother, and was creating good friendships that were supportive and that were, like, cheering her on with all these healthy changes. And she was like the wheel of fortune, like she was stepping into her abundant era and chapter. And there was, it's like a light switch is the kind of analogy I'm getting. It was like something was forced her into submission. It was a threatened and forced act of submission. It's wild. I've like never used that kind of terminology ever in my life. And that's what I keep picking up. And then there was something I heard, check my history. Check my history. Maybe is this on the phone? Is this on laptop? Oh yeah. Oh, I think she left something on just in case, I think she left something on her search engine history intentionally that she left behind at the same location that she was found, unalived. That's what I just picked up. She was also, at the time of her passing, also looking at how sh a shift in how she made money. So she had some clarity in how she was going to make money and how she was going to get out from this celebrity loop. And I think that's where she made a dismal mistake. Breadcrumbs, I just heard breadcrumbs. There was maybe she gave too many clues, dropped too many breadcrumbs. On my wrong clock, it says 422. 422. And I do feel like she was healing from past wounds. I don't know. Like, I think it's just pretty sad to leave her legacy behind and say that she was struggling with, that's the overall feeling I'm getting. To say that she was struggling with drugs and struggling with, like, an abusive relationship and stuff, I don't know. I just feel like she was about to enter into such a abundant chapter, like a healing chapter. Like she was climbing the mountain of like redemption. Um, I don't know. That's what I'm picking up. Oh, thanks, sunflower. I have a funny story about this. So like, okay, so I was called Gilly in like when I was like 20 in my early 20s because I'd always be like, sorry, kind of like a Kristen Wiig in the Gilly skit. Like they'd be like, Gilly, and she'd be like, sorry. So they would always call me Gilly because my last name was Gillespie. And then when I was like about to buy my domain, I was with my website designer. He was like, your name's too long. You got to buy another domain because I bought Jessica Gillespie. And he was like, it's too long. And he was like, do you have a nickname? And I was like, Gilly. He was like, all right, we're going to call you Jay Gilly. That's going to be your website. But I don't know. Put it in the comments below if y'all think I should change my website domain. I don't know. I feel like I've graduated out of Gilly. But hopefully the daughter is not being transported. Yeah. Let's see. No, not at the moment. A pause is what I just heard. A pause to relax. Hi from Brisbane, Australia. Hi. Hi, Laura. Welcome in. Thanks for joining us today and bringing your energy. This is very, very sad news. I know. And like, I just, yeah. If she were to, we know that she was struggling with abusive relationships in the past. And this is a common thing with handlers. And it's really tricky, especially when she was thrust in this, like at what, the age of 4? She grew up in this. And I know Orlando Brown talks about this a lot. It can be a lonely, lonely road. Everyone's using you. You are the breadwinner and your talents, and they will switch people out. There are rituals being done constantly around you. And if you don't know what's necessarily going on, or you don't have a spiritual eye and you're not tapped into your intuition, which they intentionally try and do and disrupt to make you none the wiser. I've experienced it. It's probably why I'm so psychic, I believe. I'm still, piecing together the flooding of memories. But yeah, I think it's just so important that we hold space for people while they're still alive to hear their stories so that this doesn't keep happening. I feel strongly she was unalived because she was about to drop some knowledge, some wisdom, and they had to do it on a certain day. They had to do it certain gematrinator ways to clear their tracks karmically, and they do it through numerology. So this is how Hollyweird works, in my opinion. And I'm also hearing singing in the rain over and over and over again. I don't know why. I just got interrupted by that. I'm singing in the rain. Yeah, lots of yellow. I'm seeing lots of yellow raincoats. Hmm. Let's see. Hi, everyone. Just joined. Very sad to hear another celebrity passing. Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Anything else, Spirit, that you can share? That's some valuable knowledge, wisdom that can give comfort. Wow, this is such a beautiful message that it goes to show just the strength mentally she was exemplifying at the time of her passing. Um, there's just this real significance in strength, fortitude, like her almost walking in intentionally to the lion's den. That's what I'm like picking up. Like there was point A, point B, there was a mission, and she was in a healthier spot. She thought she could be assertive enough, but then quickly it went left. She was forced into submission. She keeps it's like this forced into submission. I feel like it happened very quickly as well. Wasn't a whole lot of time to act, but I do feel that this is also going to contribute to a massive awakening of the collective, even more so. Just going to give an insight into what happens with these rituals behind the curtain of Oz. And I do feel that she's climbing a mountain of serenity right now as she does her life review and transitions and works through all of it. Coming out of isolation is what I'm hearing. Maybe she felt very isolated and alone the months leading up to her passing. Yep, and that's clarity. That's the truth. I'm also hearing something about her ex popping up in weird places suddenly, knowing where she was, following, having a pulse on her, following her. Like I said, I think her phone was actually cloned. So someone had access to every single email, every single encrypted message, every single app, every single password, everything. Financials, everything. Me too. I love it when it rains. How many times does this have to happen before all of Hollywood is exposed and held accountable? Great question. I think I think what's going to have to happen is that the collective does something about it. You know, I make jokes about like, you know, the alien versus predators. We just like get all of the illegal alien immigrants, quote unquote, to go arrest all the PDFs and call it alien versus predators. But I don't know. I mean, it's just like the the population, the collective is just going to have to take it into their own hands. We're going to have to start like Dolores Cannon says, starting to group off into like sets of 8 to 10 people and crowdsource, live off the land, homestead, grow our own food. We can't give money to the top of the pyramid anymore or to BlackRock. Like we're going to have to like, you know, go back to ancient times where we barter, we trade for items and quality of life and living. I think that's what it's going to come down to, because also there's been weird maybe it's just because of me and like what I've been like, just all the corruption I've been through and with my truth speaking, but I swear to God, there's been like they have been nonstop the last year. Um, the water sewage municipal water company coming in and changing the like water caps or, you know, the sewage or the water meters and the electrical smart meters. I mean, there's always something that they're changing around me in my building, and this is the third time in 1 month they've dug up some electrical lines because the power has gone out. So there's been some weird stuff and there hasn't been bad weather or anything. So, I do foresee psychically over the next 13 months that there will be some attacks on the grid, the electrical grid in particular. There will be some like blackouts for sure. And I'm also seeing the number 3. So it could be for 3 days or maybe 3 hours, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. But I'm going to say 3 days is more like the feeling, the vibe I'm getting. But I do see that there are beings, arachnid beings that look like spiders that attack the electrical grid. And that's what I'm seeing at the moment is the next big thing to happen. There'll be a few unexplainable blackouts. That's what I'm picking up. I like the rain when I'm camping, laid in my tent looking out, so cleansing. My favorite smell is right before it rains. It's epic. Very nostalgic, in my opinion. Was her ex her handler? Yes. I believe he was one of them. I think he was a more volatile handler, like physically abusive. Another handler was her ex-husband. He seemed more mentally like controlling, not as physically abusive, which you would think would be the opposite because wasn't he like a boxer or something? But no, I think he was just like really controlling, like mentally. That's what I'm picking up in his aura and his energy. Hi, Laura. Do you think she had a feeling something like this would happen? Yes, she had some anxiety about it, but that's why she was planning this out very strategically. I think she was trying to drip it out. Like, you know how Mockingbird News drips out the information to us? She was taking a page from their playbook and trying to drip it out in doses. And her ex, the handler, again, I keep getting forced into submission is the feeling that I keep getting, or like the hearing. Yeah. Okay. So really, truly, and honestly, was they saw her pulling away from Hollywood. She had a plan on residual income and like maybe writing books and owning the masters or something, whatever. What's the equivalent to book rights or something like masters? Basically, to owning her story. So maybe it could be like put into a documentary or a feature film or something like that. She wanted to own that. She had some strategy about stepping away from Hollywood and not having financial loss from not acting. They were like trying to keep her in this loop and like squeeze her like a workhorse for abundance. So there was a strategy that she was dripping out is the feeling I'm getting. And that created some conflict to the people that are the handlers around her. I think there were kind of a few. She was trying to she knew which ones they were, and she was distancing herself slowly from them. Yes. Yeah. She's doing it with skill, self-discipline and self-mastery. I think that she was also deeply in therapy and really heavily starting on new beginnings. And her heart was like extremely open and joyful at the time of her passing, which doesn't um when you see someone that's like really bad on drugs or and they have like a completely shut down like heart chakra aura and have like a black dirty dingy aura. I don't see that. Her aura is bright yellow. I see, yeah, new, like she was hopeful about new beginnings. So if she was in fact if there were in fact drugs found in her system, they were forced upon her. I am 100% certain of that. Allegedly. That's just what I feel. I think they were forced on her. Forced into submission. Was Hayden's brother unalived? Hi, Kelly. Yes. And again, it's this father card that keeps coming up, the emperor. So allegedly, her father has some hand in all of this controlling. Yeah. And the father enjoyed the kids being dependent on him in some way, needing him, masquerading something. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up. What a life. Hey, wondering if today is your last day all the time. Terrifying. Yeah, it can be. I think, yeah, that's what celebrities are always dealing with. It's really sad. Um, let's see what else. I'm gonna switch to the pop art deck. I also feel like they're taking away from her intellectual, like, emotional intelligence, like, how intelligent she was. I think she had extreme clarity on the situation. I don't attraction to meaningful discussions and open communication, intellectually working towards a goal for generating income and creating generational wealth without having to, like, act all the time, be everybody's, like, slave horse, workhorse. So, yeah, I don't know. I think we should give her more credit. That's what I'm picking up in how much progress she had made in her changes. And the fact that she was creating opportunities for herself. Like, I feel like she was taking her power back and taking control of her acting career or switching like, shifting her career. Um, yeah. And she's saying something about, like, she was a jack of all trades. I believe that. She had multifaceted talent. Yeah, okay, there's something on her computer, history that she intentionally left on her computer and her laptop or some device that was found at the scene of the crime, and I'm calling it a crime scene. Allegedly. Allegedly, allegedly. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Just a comment here, 11-year-old daughter lives with her dad in the Ukraine that can contribute to being depressed due to the war. Mhm. Since we are on the subject, may I ask if Paul Walker was unalived? Interesting. Okay, so I haven't ever done a deep dive into Paul Walker, but I got it was a fantasy that he passed away. Maybe he was repurposed as a character or something, but I gotta know. They wasn't the character was unalived, Paul Walker. I don't know. I would bet maybe there's like another celebrity that looks exactly like him that popped up somewhere with another name. That's what I'm picking up. Also getting a connection to lots of casinos. An inheritance. With Paul Walker. Maybe he just like gambled a lot. I don't know. But I'm getting something with gambling. Yeah, it's kind of wild. When I tap into Paul Walker's energy, that just looks like a celebrity, like I don't know, project of some sort, like human project experiment, like I don't know, DNA experiment. That's interesting. Something's a little iffy there with Paul Walker. Like, I'm getting the visual of, like, a chisel, like, a concrete chisel, like, chiseling him out and creating, like, different versions of him. It's wild. Fascinating, huh? I watched the interview with Jay. I felt that she knew that she set into motion her unaliving by speaking out. It had weird vibes. Okay, now, Wendy, remind me, who is Jay? Oh, Jay Shetty. That's right. I was talking about that. Okay. Also, I don't know, this could be just like from Botox on her crow's feet, but her face and her lips to me looked quite different from what they normally do. Like the light in her eyes wasn't the same and vibrancy wasn't the same. So that could have been the start of when she was being forced into submission, maybe. Um, but like I said, she had a strategy. It was like the long game. That's what I'm picking up. And there's something that, yeah, there's something that the celebrities know when they set into motion the synchronicities that happen, where it starts to turn into like a Black Mirror episode and it gets really paranoid. And there's a lot of witchcraft because the satanic groups don't want to let you go. But the feeling that I'm getting from the spirit realm is like telling me that there is a way out to reverse it, that you can't, you have to really, really call back your power. And like it is, it's very difficult, but it is possible to call back your energy spiritually. What can you say about this? Because I feel this is very important. I noticed, like, because I like honestly, I feel like, I mean, I'm a nobody, but it was like they were trying to, because I was so psychic, because I'm so psychic and I'm so tapped into telepathy. I knew when they were sending me like death magic and schmooish thoughts because like it just wasn't mine. I knew it wasn't mine. It was a totally different frequency and vibration. It didn't even have the same like voice as me or head voice. Like I know what my own frequency feels like. And so like when I would hear it was like it was so random. It was like I can't say it. I don't want to get flagged, but it was like deal yourself, deal yourself, deal yourself. And I was just like swatted that away and I was like, where is it? Like I just sat and observed and I was like, where is this coming from? And then I started to realize that like people had been in my apartment and were like the extra key to my the duplicate key to my gun had been stolen and my mailbox key. And that's when I realized that my mail had been rerouted for months and I was missing very key mail that had been I guess sent to my, you know, stuff could have been done all on behalf of me legally and I didn't even know it, you know, being rerouted and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. They also like stole my Tangent crypto wallet and rerouted that. And my apartment leasing office was in on it. The USPS mail was in on it, allegedly. It was a whole it was a whole network that had to work together. Insurance, the insurance, car insurance, auto, every yeah, there was so many police whenever I tried to you know, submit the police report, it was rejected. I submitted the exact deputy signed report from their same jurisdiction, and then it was rejected for incorrect information and addresses. So nothing made sense, but it was all connected. It was a whole big network of people. And so my experience with it was like you start to feel like you're kind of like no, like you're like in this obstacle gladiator course all by yourself, like Neo in the Matrix. And you suddenly have to be hyper aware and like make really good decisions, or that's at least how I felt. But one of my saving graces was understanding spiritually, like, "Oh, no, I'm the video, programmer of this game, so, like, pause. I need to regulate my nervous system and, like, it's not gonna run me, I'm gonna run it," kinda thing. So, I think that's important to throw that out there is that, everything is so technologically connected now, and I think that if you go back to some of my other psychic readings, I talk about the projector dome that is like a technological net that is um, over America. America has its own, but then also over the entire known world, the center that is um, that we know as Earth. But there are ice walls and there are 2 layers. It's like the exact same, um, shape as the evil eye, which I find fascinating. So there's 2 layers of ice walls, and if you ever see the old Atlantis pictures, the, Atlantis, is exactly, the shape is exactly how, um Earth really looks. So there's known lands, then there's an ice wall, then there is the unknown lands. There's one layer, then there's another ice wall. And this also is characteristic with really tall mountains as well. And then they have another layer of continents and worlds. And then you have the outer big firmament, outer dome. And there's several domes and layers, but the most, significant one is the projector dome that is over us directly, the known lands, and it is wired and fabricated in a set of predetermined perimeters and values. So, like, our consciousness is kinda trapped in our limited understanding. That's why it's so important to, like, get outside in the real 5D sunshine days to activate your junk DNA, because we don't even really understand just how much we're limited here, and I think it's so important to, like, pause and not feed into energetically stuff that does not matter, that doesn't align with your soul. And you'll know it when you start to get maybe ADD and can't focus or get anxiety, feel like you're suffocating. So we're all on different journeys, we're all on different missions, and we're all on different paths and have different like skill sets that we're working and crowdsourcing together that everybody needs. And so, to circle back to make some sense, um, I think that the projector dome and the AI and our phones, it makes it so much easy for the three-letter agencies to the alphabet agencies to MK Ultra and have a pulse on us and control our actions and fear. So the more that you can get a hold and of your own spiritual frequency and strength of calling your power back, the more that you have value in this game. And that's just my personal experience. I've experienced it in my own little non-celebrity way. Like I'm nobody. And my psychic abilities and being so tapped into myself was my saving grace. I had no qualms about leaving everything I owned and starting over again. I had no qualms about leaving the relationship that I thought was the love of my life overnight. I quickly realized, okay, something's been switched here. Something's been tampered with. I've been bamboozled, and I had to. I had no time to like. I just had time to act. I acted instantly from my gut instincts, and that was my saving grace, and I, like, took a pulse of, like, telepathically what was coming at me. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel like me. And they try and that's projection magic, word magic. They try and make you feel like, did you do this? Or like, so you have to have a strong sense of self. And I personally feel that Hayden definitely was climbing into that. I'm getting that analogy of climbing. Like she was climbing that mountain, like she was pretty much damn near the top. And that's why they unalived her. She was gaining too much strength and power. And there's just like one little slip up I'm getting with like being forced into submission. There's one little slip up with like location or access, something. Let me see. Is there any insight you can give us? Okay, I'm getting like there's some significance in reviews online. I don't know what this means. There is a trail of some sort, some decoding and some clues, like Blue's Clues online. Reviews. I'm also getting a reference to a convertible car. Getting the number 20 in my mind's eye. So this could be the year 2020, or when she was 20. I don't know. There's something significant about a convertible. There's something significant about reviews online. I don't know if these are connected, but the way that I read, usually it unfolds into a consecutive like storyline back to back when they like flood in like that. So those validations. And I do feel she was strongly trying to adopt a new approach, playing it smarter. So I don't think she was technically going back to him. She was playing like she was going back to him for a end game. Like there was a goal here. She's trying to play it smart. Let's see. Was her friend Jenkins also a handler when she was 18? Maybe she just answered that question and I didn't even realize it because she was saying something about 20, the age of 20 or year 2020. I don't know. So was your friend Jenkins a handler? Interesting. I'm getting a no. Maybe they were like trying to set her up. Ooh, my gosh, that thing just fell. What? My light just fell. Spirit. Holy shit. Okay. Happened out of nowhere. Okay. Who that scared me. I don't know. There was something definitely set up between them two, those two, but it was like, she had some psychic abilities. Like I said, she's a Lyran starseed, or she has some Lyran DNA, some significant gifts. And it was almost like they were trying to set them up or something where they wanted her to control him or something you or he would use her psychic abilities. The high priestess is coming out. Something with that. Something significant there with psychic abilities. I don't know if he was very religious or what, but it was almost like they were positioning her to handle him. That's the feeling I'm getting in the reverse. I don't know. Tamara says, a couple years ago, I had the same experience with a voice that was not mine telling me to do exactly as you stated. Yeah. I mean, like, I would be so intrigued to talk to a lot of like people that tried to unalive themselves and really like dive into the voices, because like, how nurses are taught, like, assess if they have a plan, if they've like, I would be so intrigued to talk to tons of people and be like, is this a plan that was just dropped into your mind? Do you know what I mean? Like, did you just kind of feel like under a spell? Did you feel like that was your own thought and so you followed through with it, but it wasn't actually your plan? Like, I would bet some money that people would be like, "Yeah, no, it just, like, downloaded into me." And in fact, my guides are reminding me whenever I was going through all this, stuff. Oh, I just lost a nail. Um, Probably when my light fell. Uh, my guides just reminded me that when I was going through all the stupid, like, humiliation ritual they were trying to throw at me with all this witchcraft stuff, um and illusion magic as well. And I also found that they did, like, love spells on my car as well. They threw, like, herbs on my car, and it was, like, all dried. It kinda at first, I was like, "Did someone throw up on my passenger side?" Like, on my driver car door? And then I was like, it was, like, actual herbs, like, kitchen witch stuff that, like, had been thrown on my car, and so then I was like, "Oh my god." They're, like, trying to get me to go after, my ex-boyfriend and, like, fight for him and be, like, all distraught, and honestly, like, the relationship was already taking a turn, and I was just waiting I was waiting to throw in the towel, like, just waiting for an opportunity because I wasn't happy. Like, I realized some stuff was going down. I could just feel it intuitively, um so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that these networks work together to like pull down someone to make them think that like there's no point in going on and that they're isolated and that no one's on their side. And that's bullshit. It's bullshit. And it's an illusion. And it's just crazy how much money goes into making that illusion hold up. And it's just like, and so much of the matrix is like built around that, we don't even know it. Like, if we were to just, like, pull back and be like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna let God, like, provide for me, like, I'm not gonna worry about my mortgage. I can't like, my job is, like, physically killing me. Like, I can't do it, like, my health is suffering." If you, like, start to just, like, pull back and you're just like, I'm letting Jesus take the wheel," you'll start to realize these huge miracles come into your life and like you're suddenly slingshot into your purpose, into your mission, and onto your path. And in my case, that's what it was. Like, I was just like, yeah, no, I'm like, I'm gonna like pause, totally kick back, and like gain some sense of perspective, like zoom out. Like, it was almost like my body just like needed to go like, I just need my mind mentally needs to go like astral travel and like get like a perspective of the world like outside. Just like chill and not have an emotional reaction to it. And that's my spiritual discipline, I think. That's like my spiritual gifts, like my higher self always having guiding me. And then also my subconscious brain, like clocking everything and zipping it together, syncing it together for conscious action. So yeah, I mean, like, I think that's what these celebrity unalivings are teaching us, that just how powerful our sovereignty is, and to how much we're in control of the video game. So if you can give into the voices, you can give into the program, the numerological control of gematria as well. But you can just as easily and quickly declare, speak into existence, you know, your mandates in the court of Jesus Christ and flip the narrative. In my opinion, that's just like what I've experienced. And it's not easy, but boy, is it freeing and empowering. And like, I don't really, just as long as I like give my heart and soul to those that I feel deserve it, um, and like come from a place of pure, pure love and light, then like everything's kind of taken care of. It might not be easy, but at least it's like on my terms. I'm a big believer in not compromising your values. And when you know better, you do better. So I'm always learning, I'm always growing, I'm always evolving, I'm always picking up a new conspiracy, you know, truth and knowledge. And like I add layers and layers and layers of the onion constantly. So I never stick to one thing. And like you can't have an ego in this business as a psychic, in my opinion. You just only have to constantly be working on your heart chakra and healing. That's why you always have to have like a landmark on the land, like a sailor. Always be checking for drift, always be checking for your perspective. Always got to use discernment as well. If someone gives you a weird vibe and a controlling vibe, we're at a time right now where like we're ascending, the frequency of our planet is ascending so much that we're going to start to see the dark of each human, the reptilian portion and the reptilian mind of each human. We're going to be able to see, as you ascend, you're going to be able to see the sins of another and the truth of another, the ego of another. So in order for you to find and navigate properly through that experience, you have to do your own healing on your dark shadows. That's what I truly believe. And so holding space for like Hayden's story, I think that's the best thing we can do right now is pay homage to her legacy and her story and do the digging and the education into like what really happened. Um and if anyone like, I'm sure there's going to be some truth bombs that come out. Let's see in the future. I'm getting an R name. Like Robert. So, or Robert or something. Someone may leak some documents. Taxes, I heard as well. Some taxes. Maybe that was something she was concerned about, like something with the book and taxes and legal rights and legalities and stuff like that with her ex. It was like she was going back to sort that out, is what I'm picking up. I don't think she was committed to him or committed to going back to him at all. At all. Was her friend oh, yeah, we already did that one. Prior to, I was severely depressed. As I began to heal, I was able to decipher the difference in the voices. The realization that I was actually being attacked helped me heal even more. Yeah, it's, like, very empowering. You're like for me, I knew immediately because like, I interact with different spirits all day. I mean, like, it's a constant mirror of where you're at. Like, if you're angry and irritated or an irritable, when you go to, like, even the grocery store, you're gonna get an irritated cashier, guaranteed, because the law of attraction. It's the same thing with when you open up your channel in spirit and, communication with spirit or channeling tarot information, the future stuff. You're only gonna channel your highest vibrational frequency that you are at in that snapshot, in that space. So that's why it's so important to find a reader that understands that and understands the power of their own spiritual hygiene. Uh, get to the 0 point field. Like before I come on and do any live channelings, I will have already gone to the park for about an hour and grounded on like 100-year-old oak tree and talked to a tree and worked out and had a meditation for at least 30 minutes. And what my personal thing is I'll see in my third eye, it's all purple and magical. And then I know I'm ready to go. I'm tapped in. I'm at the 0 point field. Like a complete engine oil change. Got to drain out all the old stuff, give it a clean, then refill with new stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hi, Jess. You were so pretty. I feel like I've turned a corner and the anger is almost gone. Do you? Oh, thanks. Um, yeah, I think we're a constant work in progress. If we're not evolving and we're not learning from ourselves, you know, that's when we transition to the other side of the veil, right? So we're human. I think anger serves a purpose. It's a way to transmute into love and light and to use as a vehicle for forward movement. It teaches us through our human emotion. But yeah, absolutely. I feel like I'm turning corners each and every day. And one thing that I personally, I think we all are here doing that through our own particular chosen, through our own gifts and what resonates most with us. But for me, like one way that I do that is through like health and movement and creativity through dance. Like my body is my antenna. So I will heal myself through creative movement. That's my personal astral gift and anchor into this physical realm. But everyone's going to have something different. Some people will sing, some people will, it's anything that like you feel your inner child is giddy and completely like in the present moment and in bliss. Um, and so that's what really I find is I guess the 0 point field for me personally in my life. That is where healing occurs, true transformation and transmutation, but also forward movement on my path. So like let's say things are stagnant and like I need like I'm not getting many bookings and like I'm not getting a lot of readings and stuff like that, like I'll go drop everything and I'll go like do something that I love to do creatively, and instantly it shifts the energy. Like instant. Things that got me really mad before now don't. It's like I don't care. That's how you know you've healed it. If it's no longer a trigger, then you've healed it. And that is the biggest thing you can free yourself from: the projector dome, the matrix programming, is they keep you stuck with triggers. They keep you trapped with triggers and trauma. And if you keep rehashing the trauma, and that's how they keep you in the loop. So if they no longer get the reaction out of you, they no longer have the loosh. That's the real currency, right? 23. All right, guys. We're almost 2 hours. That went by really quickly. Really quickly. Well, it was lovely to share this afternoon with you guys. I wish you all the best in your healing journey, and no triggers today. Y'all have a good evening. Love and light.